Good evening, everybody. It's Shelley Johns here from Gympie. I'm here with Ross.
Good evening.
And we've got a great webinar to go through tonight, really great training all about retailing and the methods that you can choose from, and some really good tips as well. Because we want you to be fantastic retailers. That sets a great foundation for your business. But to kick off the night, as we always do, we're going to share some good news. The few people have been to their STS trainings around Australia, and lots of people have got things happening in their business. So we're going to kick off with Lindy, who does an amazing job. Like, she's in Canberra, she's a mum of 3, and she juggles it all around and fits it in. So what's your good news for the week, Lindy?
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm really excited. I've got 2 new people of interest. I do have one of the boys' occupational therapists has been watching, because he does home visits, he's been watching me slimming down over the last year, and has now finally decided that he'll start taking the Formula One shake, which is really good. And he sent me a message last week saying he was really excited. He'd lost 1.5 kilos in 3 days, and he'd been trying to lose the last 7 kilos for a long time. So he's got a follow-up appointment here with one of the boys tomorrow. So we'll be talking a little bit more at the end of his appointment. And then another friend's, one of my kids' friends' parents also came around for a catch-up, and I didn't have any of the regular tea because I don't. So I said, would you like the cinnamon tea? Oh, that sounds interesting. I'll try that. And so she's going to visit tomorrow, and she wants to take some of the tea as well. So she's a very busy neurophysiotherapist. So any energy that she can get during the day is really good for her working long hours. So that's my good news.
A couple of things from the STS that you got?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, a couple of things. It's really hard because you get such gold from everybody that talks. Oh gosh, we had Tony Wilson talking. So I suppose if I was to nut it down to a couple of things, is just how she kept talking about the importance of building her business on building relationships with people. And if you're honest and open and transparent, then people would just swarm and come to you, and business comes from there. And I just liked how she was saying that being a mum of 4 kids herself, how it was just really nice now to have the flexibility of working from home and working on her terms around the kids, so that she doesn't have to put them into care. And particularly it doesn't really matter whether it's after school or during school holidays. She's always got the choice of having them there if that's what she wants. Oh, goodness me, there was just so much. And I suppose the one thing I really got out of it was she kept reiterating the point of knowing and tracking your consumer spending shift, and then just so that you then know how to upgrade people when it's the right time. So there was lots of gold I could have given, but really for me that was absolutely magical. She was lovely and very approachable and easy to listen to. And again, as per usual, I've got pages and pages of notes. So that was the gold points.
I'd love you to add, elaborate more on that underneath your photos that you posted on Challenge Yourself Daily, even some extra tips. That would be great.
Okay.
Because I think that's the sort of information that it's nice to come off that event.
Certainly.
That'd be great.
Sure.
Thank you, Lindy. You're doing awesome. Well done. So,
yes, and also for me, I suppose I've lost a couple of kilos, minus 9 centimetres, and the best thing is down 3.6% body fat. That was awesome.
That's so cool. So I can't.
The less jiggly bits are better.
So I have done the certificates up to 50 kilos. So, and obviously we might have to do more if you keep advancing. So that's really cool.
Absolutely.
Well done, Lindy.
Thank you.
James and Amanda, I know you went to your very first STS on Saturday. So, and congratulations for being recognised as senior consultant up on stage. And also for James for sharing your result in the HOM, which I know can be a little bit nerve-wracking, but you did a great job.
Yeah, I'm not fantastic with public speaking particularly, but you get up there. It's all part of the personal development thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was good for us. I mean, the main thing that I sort of got out of it was, I guess, with the online persona, like on Facebook and stuff, to be consistent with who you are. A lot of people are very different from who they perceive to be online and in person. So you know, just try and be as real as you can and
Yep.
straightforward.
That's awesome. What about you, Amanda? What did you get out of it?
Yeah, probably just all the testimonials, all the different, all the young ones, but all the fresh people have only just come on product, all their testimonials and that, probably.
Yes, and it's a great place to go and collect stories from, and go up to someone and say, hey, I really loved your result, could you send it to me, or text it through a PM? So it's a great way of collecting stories, and you can do story swaps, because eventually you will have your before and after photos that you can do the same thing with, which is
Yeah.
So I know you've already booked your tickets for the Success Summit, so you're totally pumped for that. So well done for really stepping up and showing that commitment. And I know you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be an amazing event.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's not every day you get a chance to go on a boat like that, is it?
Yeah, so the super yacht and mega yacht, whatever it was, and the training's going to be amazing as well. So great location. So I know you will make the most of it. And I know you've got to juggle around kids and everything. So which you had to do for the SDF. It makes for a fairly big day. So I think you do a great job.
Thanks.
Cool. So let me just flick through. Good news, because I think Trishy and Vicky are also on, but I'll just, Irene, I know you were at the STS. Did you want to share maybe 2 things you got out of the training with Shanice?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think probably one of the things, she did it in the member training, she talked about clarify your purpose. What is the why behind everything you do? And I've never heard it like that before. And when we know this in life, we can design it, and then our path is very clear. And the other thing she said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you're doing it, what it is, what you want to do. Use the events to grow your business. Your product result is your billboard for your business. I thought that was fantastic. Lots more things, absolutely, but just those 2 things I think are, resonated with me. And if I may add about collecting stories, Shelley, when I started, I knew nothing about anything, and when I still take the stories. I still sit and listen because I want the stories. However, what I used to do, I would go up to the person, to the story that touched my heart, and I would ask them what they used to get the result and how they used it, because I needed to learn not just that they could get the result, but what caused the result to happen and how they used it. So that's something when you're collecting stories and you're going to the person themselves, that is a good few questions to ask.
Thank you, Irene. That's awesome. It was lovely to see you at the STS as well. And we passed you on the way home.
I know, and I was trying to keep up, but the car got in front of me. I didn't keep the speed limit, Ross, all the time. That's a different story.
Thank you, Irene. That's lovely. Oh, and I was going to say, just relating back to Lindy, I tried, and I really thought that the cinnamon, because I'd seen the recipe for the cinnamon instant herbal beverage with the lime juice and sparkling water, or the sparkling lime water, and saying it would taste like healthy Coca-Cola, and it actually really does taste like cola. Not exactly, but it does have a cola-y taste. And so if you've got anyone that it does. It
I was a dentist's daughter. I was never allowed to have it, so I've got no idea what it tastes like. So
you'll probably love it. And so try it with sparkling lime water, Lindy, and tell me what you think. And so for anyone that maybe you think is a bit of a soft drinker, and trying to get them onto a healthy alternative, it just might be worth a try. That's all I'm saying. So
well, I have to say I do have the odd bourbon and Coke, so I'll try this cold.
Yeah, try it.
yeah, but then Jenny, you got to take the bourbon out, so that's no fun.
Oh no, well, you're allowed to have a bit of fun now and then.
If you try it, you have to put it on Healthy Active Lifestyle Group. What you thought?
It tastes like very cheap cola.
So
you'll need lots of bourbon in it if you want to drink it properly.
We'll see. It might enhance it. So I know Vicky and Tricia are on the call together. So Tricia's gone to Vicky's house so that Vicky can be at home with her son, which is really great. Nice mentoring, Tricia. Thank you for your big heart and always doing that. I know you had a ball on Saturday at the STS, so maybe 2 things that you got out of it.
People's inspirational stories, even when they were very emotional about saying their story, they still managed to get up there and even though, you know, crying and that, to knowing that it impacts other people. The emotion is so real, and it just helps to see other people see, look, if they can get up there, I can do it too.
Yes, and well done for getting up and sharing your story. I might have given you a nudge, maybe.
You're it.
So, and I know it was Vicky's very first STS. So what did you think, Vicky?
It was good. I learned a lot.
That's good. Well, you're doing great. You're on calls. You're listening to the recordings. You're using the products. You're getting great results. You're stepping through so beautifully for all the events. Yeah, you're always talking and inviting people. So, you and Trish make a great team, and I'm sure that you're going to go great places working together.
Thank you. Thank you. We went afterwards. We went and had drinks. They're non-alcoholic, but we didn't need alcohol to go. So thank you, Vicky. We had our bottles with us, and when we went in, they told us that we weren't allowed to take them in. And so we said, all right. So they put them at the counter, and when we finished, we came back and we said to a new attendant that we dropped them off with about the. And she said, "Oh, what's in that?" And I said, "Oh, it's green tea, and there's peach, and there's 3 different flavors. Would you like to know a bit about it?" And she said yes. And she said about for future reference that they need to put a sign out the front of the venue so people know exactly where it is, and also to ask people, even attendees that work there, maybe to give them dates so that they can then attend at future ones when they're not working.
Yep. Cool. Well, I'm sure you can go and give them a call tomorrow, Trish, and get some flyers sent in there and go in and see them when you're in Brisbane.
Okay, yep, I'll do that.
That's what I'd be doing, that's for sure. So that's pretty awesome. I'm glad you had a ball. I know you've had a ball because you've got smiles on your faces. So, no? Steve, did you have some good news to share? Sorry, because you came up. Nope, that's cool. I'm sure you will next week though, right? Yes.
I made the mistake of running out of Formula One vanilla this week. I got an order for 2 and I had to rush an order through to get some more through. So I thought, I had plenty. No, I didn't have any at all. So I've been selling some, which is great.
That's good. Well, it's good when you're running out of products. But yeah, sometimes they're just trying to keep an eye on things, especially when you've got to wait for your product to arrive too.
I thought I had some in my my packs.
Yeah.
I'd already taken out the packs and sold them as well.
That's good. That's awesome. Well done, Steve.
Oh, yeah, no, it's good. I was quite pleased this week. So yeah.
Hey Shelley, I've got a little fun story, if that's okay, to put in with all the really great Herbalife stuff. My granddaughter had an accident last week and her car was written off, so she started looking for a new car. And I said, you've got to get something that's really low kilometres, like 25 or so if possible. She ends up getting herself this little car, and quite cheap, $25,000 kilometres on it, 25,000 kilometres. It's Herbalife Green. And you won't believe, Olivia, my secretary, has a Herbalife Green car as well. So here in the front of the house, we have 2 Herbalife Green cars. So straight away, my little mind said, I'm going to get some of those metallic stickers and put on their cars. And I said to my granddaughter, look, I give you $50 a month. You keep a whole lot of flyers and you put them out along the way and talk to everybody. And she said, okay, I will, because that'll help me with my car insurance. So, there's always ideas. When you're on these programs, on these calls, somebody always says something that makes you think. And I just want to share this with you too. Sometimes you get to my age and you think you're looking after your business for the future, and we're all getting older, different ones of us, and people drop out, but more than that, people retire. And so I've got a line where there's 3, first, second and third have retired, and that's okay, because that's the great thing about the business. It's just amazing. If anyone wants to never work the business, as long as you do your $4,000 a year, your supervisor you know, you can just keep collecting your royalties. So it's not a bad business at all. But I've just noticed looking at my readout, and that I suddenly had all these first line people, and my mum was like, where's this coming from? And because, you know, you get a bit slow here and there. And some of the people had been around 15 and 20 years, but what was happening, you know, they were from France and different countries, and either their upline had gone, you know, into retirement or got old and decided to drop out the business, whatever the story is. And suddenly I've got like this 6 first line people. And I'm starting to think lately, God, I've got to get out and do some more recruiting. And suddenly it's like God's given me 6 first line to work with. And so, you know, I tell these stories because when we're on here, we all learn from each other. And one of the blessings of being around the business for a while is that somehow that day you think like, hey, I've got to do a bit more or whatever. It's almost like you're given a blessing that somebody gives you something or tells you about a customer or gives you a friend as a customer or whatever. So when I was thinking, man, I've got to get out there and do a bit more work here. Now I've got 6 first line to be working with, contacting them around the world, you know, finding out more about their individual stories, and, you know, probably knew all the people above them at one stage, but there's so many people, there's many people that escape you. So, you know, there's a little story just to say your blessings will come at some time, for sure.
Yes, and I think that does happen. People rise up sometimes if someone's dropped out above them, and that's why we always say never ever quit. Never do that, because, you know, it just stick around because you don't know what's going to happen. So yes, I think it's a really great thing. Persistence pays off, absolutely. So thank you, Jennifer. That's great. I'll just click through, make sure I haven't. Yeah, that's cool. So just with our good news, I had this lady come through the internet, and she contacted me. She'd been on Herbalife like 5 or 6 years ago, emailed her on the 19th of August, and I think I called her as well. So if I've got a phone number, I try and contact them. And she wasn't ready. She'd just moved over from Perth and wasn't quite ready to get on it. But then she contacted me yesterday and is ready to get started. So on Friday, she's going to order an advanced program plus an extra Formula 1. So she's got for the whole month. And she's ready to go. And she said she absolutely loves the support. I've just added her onto the Healthy Active Lifestyle group to let her have a look around. And she just said she didn't have any of that stuff when she first started. So I think she's really loving the extra information and support she's getting. And the STS was fantastic. We loved that. There was one today. So because you know with me that I sometimes find it very difficult to ask for phone numbers. So I was in the supermarket. Russ had to stay home because we had some builders fixing something. And I went into the supermarket, and this girl that often serves us, her name's Tyra, she said, oh, do you want to come in? I'm just opening. I said, yep. And I said, oh, so is this all you do, or do you study, or whatever, do you do other jobs or whatever? She said, oh, I'm just working here and I'm doing uni next year and I'm going to study social working as a social worker. I said, oh, that's great. I said, you know, you really should come to the centre and see what we do. I said, you know, we really love helping people. It's all about mindset, nutrition, and being more active in that healthy, active lifestyle. So it'll be really in alignment with what you do, and you could even do it part-time. You should just come and take a look, even if it's not for you. I said, here, just let me grab your number, and I've got her phone number, so I'm going to text her. So I got a number, and I'm going to let her know what we do, invite her in, and come and take a look and see what happens. So I was very proud of myself for getting a phone number. And look, I'd seen her a few times. So it wasn't that it was the first meeting. So sometimes they need to see you a few times before they're willing to hand the phone number over. So I think that's pretty much all the good news. Did you have something to add? Cool. So let's get started. So we'll click over. So did you want to cover this one?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I can do this.
Cool.
So what are your goals? A little bit like what Shanice was saying on the weekend, but it's the same deal. Before you get started, you need to know what you want to achieve. You really do need to know that. So how many hours can you spend on Herbalife each week? How much would you like to earn each day, week, month, or year? And how many clients would you like to help? You really need to start to, it is a business you're trying to do, so you need to sit down and think about those things and start to work those things out. And spend some time writing out your goals and have it where you can see it. Because each day, to remind you of what you're aiming for, because like Shelley's got down here, only 4% of the population has goals and reads them on a daily basis.
Probably even a smaller percentage of reading.
Probably is. Reads them on a daily basis. So those goals are there to help inspire you, to help you move forward when you're having those down times and you're having one. But it is a business you're trying to run here. So you really need to sit down and think about that from a point of view. What do you really want to achieve? And then what are you going to do to achieve it from there?
I think goals give you that clarity. And if you're having a bit of a mental fog time where you're not feeling clear, go and read your goals and give yourself that clarity. And this training is on retailing, just so you know. We will cover recruiting at a separate time. So starting with the basics. So your first step is to write a list of everyone you know. And you know what, I even feel even now, this so many years later, that I've still got so many more people, especially with social media. I've got a lot of acquaintances. I've got people that I know that I probably don't know their name, but I know who they are, and that, you know, I could, you know, talk to them about what I do. So don't make a decision for anybody. It's not your job to decide. It's just your job to put their name on the list. Okay, so there's a process in this, and you've got to trust in the process that the job is to write the list, because sometimes people will contact you before you contact them, or you bump into them. It's funny how the universe works. And just let them know that you've started your own business as a wellness coach or a Herbalife nutrition coach, whatever you're comfortable in saying, and what's happened to you on the products, and then share maybe 2 or 3 results. And just on this group, we've got so many amazing results. And then ask them if they know anyone that you could help. Sometimes that's a nice soft way. Ask them if you could practice a wellness evaluation, or maybe the scripts with you. They don't even have to live near you. They could be, you could do it over the phone or on a webinar like this. Like, you can get your own Zoom account and do 45 minutes for free. So, you know, you could do a practice call, and then you get to catch up with a friend at the same time. Ask them if you could share a post on their timeline, or if you gave them 100 flyers, would they do their street and maybe take some to their workplace? Okay, so I know Vicky's had this happen. So, you know, these are things you've just got to ask. Okay, so is there a point now?
So if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. You really need to understand that. You have to ask the question, otherwise it's always going to be no.
No, Irene likes that quote. So packaging your story. I know we've talked about this a bit, but it's so important for you to feel confident talking about how you share your story in front of other people, and you just got to keep practicing it. I know Vicky's been practicing with Trishy, and it's, you know, it's just make it fun, have fun with it. And you can do it with your mentor, and then practice sharing it with your family and friends to say, hey, look, I've got this project, I've been given some homework, and I really need to practice it. Could I practice it with you? And yeah, make a goal of how many people you could practice your story with. And you just don't know who you're going to inspire, and it plants that seed. Have lots of before and after photos. I know Jennifer's super strong on this, and you know, having, you know, magazines and flip books of before and afters. You could have it on technology as well if you want, but have them there, because that's what will inspire people. You want to become that story collector. Ask people for their stories at events that you're going to, because a picture tells 1,000 words. And definitely keep working on your story, and make sure that you take before photos of all your clients as well. A lot of them don't like it, but just say, look, I'm not going to share it with anyone without your permission, but it's there just so that you can compare it back, and they'll be glad that you did.
And I say 2 years ago when I first started, you used to have really good booklet that had the information on the front where you could just put their picture on the front. And I quite like that. So I've actually kept one of them, and then I just photocopy them, because I just think it's, maybe I'm just old fashioned, but I just like to clip it and have it in a folder, and then I can flick through. And I think it's just, I mean, I can use my phone, but I just like to have that folder. And sometimes, you know,
well, if you took
there are lots of different ways, but
take a photo of it, Lindy, and upload it onto Challenge Yourself Daily. Someone might really be inspired to use that as well.
Okay. Yep.
Good. All, yeah, because that's our resource group, basically. All the resources go on there.
Okay.
Okay, so creating a strong foundation. So retail creates a strong foundation in your business. More stories to share and more belief in the products. Yeah, because it's when you get a result on the products, but then when you get somebody, like Jennifer was saying, all of a sudden you got these people, it's like you're the mother hen, and you feel really proud, like you got this group of, look at all my chicks are doing, and then you help them, you know, get the feathers, and then they can leave the nest, you know, and you're really changing people's lives. It really increases your confidence and your customers' confidence. You can teach your members what you do. So if you're not retailing, how can you teach someone else what to do? It creates cash flow, and I always knew it was cash in your pocket every single day. That's what Merv always called it. And I know that Mark Hughes had this goal of $100 retail profit each day, which I know Gary often talked about too, Jennifer. It's a great income story to share. Hey, yesterday I earned an extra $50 in retail profit. You know, do you know anyone that would like to earn extra income? And all of a sudden it's giving you this great income story, because everyone wants to earn extra income. They do, especially this time of the year. Christmas is coming up. You know, a lot of people find it very stressful. Imagine if we could inspire them with our stories. And guess what? Clients make great members. So how many people on this call were clients first, right? And yep. So, and they say 70% of the presence team were clients first. So guess what? If you're a customer first, and I know there's a few people on this call that are, you know, you're more likely to become a presence team member. How cool is that? So treat everyone like gold. So do you want to cover this?
Yeah, I can do this.
Cool.
So obviously we need a balanced business. Think of your business as a table with 4 legs. You have to have a minimum of 4 proven methods you're using to attract inquiries. Choose methods that you would enjoy that fit with your goals and a way of life. So that's important. You have to really choose things that work for you. You want to make it fun, simple, and magical and enjoyable. So it has to be things that you enjoy to do, whatever that is the best way to work out for you. And then work with your coach to get one organized into an action plan.
Yeah. So so your coach already has everything there for you. So you just need to let them know what you want, which we're going to go through the menu in a minute. But yep. I also remember Mark on one of those Mark Hughes trainings, he talked about that he did everything, so he knew how it worked and everything, so he could teach it. So if someone wanted to do something, he was already doing it. So I love that. But so sometimes, yes, you'll end up doing everything, but it will narrow down to a few methods that you absolutely love and that you're good at and they're getting results. So that's really important as well. So I'll show you the menu. So now this is not everything that you can do to retail. There's more. Of course, there's always more. And it's just like going to a restaurant. You look at the menu and you choose what you like, and often what might fit in with your budget as well. Because obviously I love free methods first, but then you might have a budget of what you would spend on advertising and marketing. So of course, always go through people you know first. It's the quickest way, asking for referrals at every opportunity. And I know I've got to get better at this. Doing flyers, and that can be in letterboxes, but there's other ways of getting them out as well. Putting up posters in places that you can do that. Looking at different ways you can do local ads and newsletters and things like that. Social media is a good one, and you can do free and paid, and that's a whole training in itself.
Absolutely, it's a training in itself.
Yeah, but make sure you go through the social media guidelines that are in the career manual. It's really, really important. I think they're on myherbalife.com.au as well. If you can't find them, just give Herbalife an email and they'll send it to you. Wearing the brand or button. I think these days there's lots of different ways of looking cool with Herbalife. There's some really cool buttons. I love the healthier and happier one. Obviously the shirts. There's so many cool things to show the products. Then using the products obviously. So when you've got like a big 2-litre bottle of instant herbal beverage mix with aloe and stuff, you know, it's quite an obvious product. People are like, what the heck are you drinking there? And it's a really great conversation starter. It's a little bit inconvenient to carry around, but it's a bit like doing weights. And, you know, you have fun using the products, obviously. That's all I can say. Surveys are a good one. Sometimes you need a bit of courage to do that, but it's good practice. Signs on your car, which is exactly what Jennifer was talking about. So imagine going to all your family and friends, hey, if I made up some signs or got something done on your car, would you do that for me? As long as they're not driving like crazy people or anything. Make sure they're good calm drivers. But you could have that. You could go to a trucking company and say, hey, could you put some signs on the back of the truck and pay them, and they could be driving around Australia advertising for you. So there's lots and lots of ideas there. Lucky spots is basically where you go to a car park or an event where there's lots of cars, and you don't do every single car because everyone can't have a lucky spot, and it just says, congratulations, you've parked in today's lucky spot. Please call before 9 p.m. tonight for your free wellness evaluation valued at blah, 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 or free samples of whatever you want to put. It's up to you, but that's a lucky spot. And you could even laminate them, because we know Queensland, it rains a lot, right? So how many times have I done that and then it's rained? Just been stuck to the windows. Let's not do that. Laminate them, and they're a lot more, that looks nicer, and people are probably more likely to call, and it's just a nice thing to be able to do. Dear neighbour letters, just letting your neighbours know that you're their local Herbalife coach. Radio is probably not my favourite thing because it's probably a little bit on the way out, but we were listening to a training with Gary Vee, and he said that there's a lot of people that listen to the radio on their way to work and back. So if you've got the radio advertising at the right time, when you know people are more likely to listen to it, you might get some business from it.
Just remember, with radio, there is rules behind it.
Yes, well, like anything.
There is very much rules behind it, so you need to be very clear on what that is before you go and mention the word Herbalife on the radio.
Yes. So yes, and always contact Herbalife if you're not sure. Editorials, so you can actually contact your local newspaper, and you might do something on, it could be from the Herbalife Nutrition Foundation or anything that you're doing to help the local community, and you could get an editorial in as well. White pages and different directories out there. Now, some of them like to have a non-Yahoo, Hotmail, Gmail email, so you may need to go and get a proper one that's linked to your .com name, so just be aware of that.
Can you want to also explain to them what you've done with Google as well with your
yeah, nearly drove me crazy.
But you still have, and you've got yourself out there on Google Maps.
Cool. So Google Maps is another one. I'm sure most people know about it. So you go into Google, Google Business, and then you actually put yourself on the Google Map. You secure that spot for your address as a Herbalife distributor. So they have to verify.
Yeah.
They have to verify.
I didn't know that. Can I just ask you, are you paying for that?
No, it's free. They do, obviously they try and upgrade you to pay for things. So there is, yes, you can always pay, but there is free. So you basically.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it did nearly drive me crazy working it out, just so you know. But if you've got someone that can sit with you, like, your granddaughters and that, they should be savvy with all that stuff. It just becomes so natural to them. Going into Google and then Google Business, and then basically take a little bit, put some images, and you answer all the questions and everything.
But it's important to understand you have to be where you are when you go to do it.
Yes, you've got to verify the address. Yes. So I'm sitting here, I did it for Jones Hill, Herbalife distributor for Jones Hill, and then it sent me a little code to enter in, so they'll either post it or they'll text it to you. And sometimes it only lets you post it, so you've got to wait so many days. So a little bit of a long-winded process, but definitely worth doing.
And then we had to use a totally different email address so we could do it for the lifestyle centre.
Yes.
So we couldn't use that same locational point for somewhere else. It's only, you only get 1 point.
So I've verified two now, two locations. But the advantage to it, if you're wondering why do I want to do that, so when someone's typing in, I want to find a Herbalife distributor at Runaway Bay or Paradise Point, your little thing will go, ploop, there'll be like a little pin on the map, and you're there, so they know that's you. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure there's heaps of people that have done it, and if anyone's really clear on how to do it, please put it on Challenge Yourself Daily. That would be great.
So can I ask Shelley, so you didn't actually have to go through Google Business, or did you go through Google Business to?
Yeah. I went on to, I signed into Google, then I clicked on a little thingy up the top right that had all the different options. I clicked on Google Business, and then I went through and.
So you had to have a Google.
So through Google Business. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Shelley, one other thing you said before, which I thought was a great idea, there's also precautions about this. I mean, if you're a can of Formula One and you've got a neighbour or someone you know that's a truckie or a courier or someone that's got a vehicle getting around, they might be happy to get their Formula One for free, to put your metallic sign. Now, having said that, I'm not quite sure if you're supposed to be a distributor to have a sign on there. What these rules are, you probably need to check that up. Things change, and I never bother to look at the rules anymore. But I certainly, if I was going to do something, I'd look at the rules. Also, you probably don't want to be indiscriminate about putting it on some truckie's truck in case, he goes into awful places or something like this, So be discriminating about who you would get to advertise. But it's such a great idea. And as I said, instead of paying up big money for advertising, the cost of it, like giving him a shake for each month or something like that, it could be a really good deal.
Yeah, well, I had my other idea was earn while you travel and go to all the Grow Nomads and get it put on the back of the caravan. I'm always thinking, because imagine we all did that all around Australia, what that could do. Like there's lots and lots of ideas, and you've just got to pick your niche of what am I passionate about that feels like me, the way I do things and then I would focus on that. So yes, that's a really good idea. I'm keeping on the time. Talking at different clubs and organisations. I know this is something I love. I've done Rotary before. I've been to the Scouts and Girl Guides and lots of other things. So, offering to do a talk on nutrition or how many spoons of sugar and things, you can kind of come up with different things and give a bit of value. and then which invites that for them to inquire about what you do, and dropping samples into businesses as long as you follow up on it. So Kenzie's asking if she can have something to eat. Trying to multitask, that's so funny. So just remember, this is a menu. You don't have to do everything. It's okay if you want to, but I think just pick 4 for the stable table. And the reason why we want you to do 4 to have that stability in your business is if you only did one thing, and this is a great one for Queensland, or Canberra for that matter, if you were only doing flyers and then it rained for a week or we got floods or something,
You mean Saturday?
that's it, and you weren't able to get out and do them, and then you didn't get to do your method, how's your business going to grow? But if you've got something else to take up the slack, that's what you want to have happen. So always have that 4 to give you that stability in your business. So I hope that makes sense. And then your menu is designed to generate inquiries so you can invite them into the local events. Now, the events could be what I used to do a lot before we got the centre. I'd just retail over the phone. I'd basically, like I did with Beck last night, spoke to her, and because she doesn't live near me, I had to sell the product over the phone. We just went through. She'd already received an information pack from me by email, and she already knew what she wanted, which is great. So I just got her to make a decision. But I would be more than happy to do a video thing like a webinar like this, which we could see each other talk. I know a lot of people use Skype. Otherwise, book them into a wellness evaluation. You can go to their house. They could come to you. You can meet them in a coffee shop, or if you've got a centre or office, you could do that. Fit club or a walking group, inviting them into something like that, some sort of activity. Weight loss or transformation challenge. There's heaps of them around, and they work very well. Put them onto your group as well. Recipe making sessions, a let's go kick off at STS or something like that. Shake party, skin demo, H24 sample session, or whatever it is that you like. It's really quite versatile, but you need to have some sort of events that you're inviting your clients into. So I know we've got Luke Fortescue coming up on the 2nd of November. So I'm definitely inviting as many people as possible to that, because I know there's going to be heaps of results. It'll be great for clients, lots of recipes to try. So it's going to be really, really amazing for that. So you want to have at least a couple of events. And my recommendation is if you have ones in your existing area, plug into those already, use what's already in place. Or if you don't, then you need to create them. You have to be brave. I know it's scary, but create your own, because you just have to do that step up and lead, and people will come. They will come, Lindy. They will.
Okay, so it won't just be me. Okay.
Trishy can verify this, how often it was just Ross, myself and Trish, over and over and over and over. It was just 3 of us, and then all of a sudden it's just gone bloop, 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 and I can't wait for critical mass to happen. It's going to be fantastic.
Critical mass, I like that.
Yeah, critical mass. So Mark and Addie talked about that, and I'm really looking forward to that when the day that happens. It's not too far away. A script. So when someone contacts you, you have to have some sort of script in place. So I kind of have this already in my head, but I think to have something printed out, your set of words that sounds like you, and it doesn't matter if they need to gain weight, they're into sports, nutrition, they need to lose weight, which is probably the biggest amount of percentage that you're going to get. But you just want to know that they're serious, what their goal is and the reason why they want to do it, what they've tried and why it didn't work. And if I'm on the phone, I just write it all down. So here's Beck, me talking to her last night. I've printed off her information, and then I've written all the things that she said. So I know that she was always healthy and fit, but now she's not. She's moved from WA. She's put on 10 kilos. I know all this stuff about her, which is great, because then I can relate back to it. And then I just share a couple of results, which I actually emailed to her. Talk about the benefits of cellular nutrition and why it's such a great program in your own words. I just put a few things here. And eating the food you love and not feeling like you can still have a life and get results is something I use a lot, but I know you all have your catchphrases. So just be yourself and share your passion and enthusiasm about the products. Tell them the fast, faster and fastest. Give them the prices and get them to ask for a decision. So you can pretty much do all of this over the phone. And then, if you need to catch up with them face to face, you could do that. But why wouldn't they want to get started? So, and you know what, if they say no, it's okay. Don't take it personally. It's not you. It's just they're not ready for some reason, and keep going through the numbers. So you'd probably get 2 out of every 10. I think when I first started, it was like 1 out of 15 or 20 to start with, because I was really bad at it. But as my confidence grew, my numbers got better. So I think I can get 1 out of 4 or 5 at the moment. And I like that. So,
Shelley, could I just add, I learned so much from hearing somebody else training. And so I always think straight away, oh, I can pass this on to the guys in the Philippines or somewhere else. But as I sit here, whether I'm on anyone's call, I always take photos of everything that's on there. So if you guys there are unsure of, what you might say when you meet someone, why not take a photo of this thing right here, script, a set of words. And then, you're going to meet someone, you quickly look in your phone, you look at the photo and think, oh yeah, okay, prime my head again. I know what I'm going to say to this person when I meet them for coffee. So, I always continue to take photos wherever I can. And it is interesting that somebody will ask about something, and sometimes just going through your photos, the things you've taken, off a screen somewhere, will just spark your head with that little thing, and then I can run into an hour's talk about something. But sometimes you just need that little prodding, and if you do these little hints like that, you don't think about, you're sitting here and you're hearing it and you're writing it down, but just taking some photos, if Shelley doesn't mind, I'm sure she doesn't, because that's what she's telling everyone all the time.
I got it from someone else.
Yeah, and it's little things we don't think about, and until we do it, and it will come in handy one day.
Definitely. And so this is a PowerPoint, so I'm more than happy for you to have a copy of the PowerPoint, so you just print off whatever. So because sometimes a photo on the screen goes a bit funny. It's
just that thing to have when you're out somewhere or somebody asks you, and for somebody that's new, if they're not really sure, they can say, oh, no, I've got something on my phone. You have a quick look or something. Yeah. Little things that may help them.
No, that's a great idea. Thank you, Jennifer. So that script I got from someone else. And as we know, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So have faith that you just got to do the numbers. So this was a flow. So Mark and Jill Addy at the World Team Retreat talked a lot about finding your flow and being in your business. So I just wanted to set up a step. Did you want to go through it?
Yeah, sure. I can go through this. So it's really whatever that activity is. You engage in inquiry, get a level of evaluation. Definitely, like Shelley said, get that decision. That's important.
I reckon that's the most important part, other than follow up, is getting it. So we're too scared to ask.
We are too scared to ask. We often don't ask for a decision, and it is important to ask for the decision. And then obviously once you've got the decision and they're doing what's required, you have to follow up.
Yeah, and sometimes the decision could be, oh, how would you like to pay for that? Like with Beck, I just said, oh, by the way, just letting you know, you can do it, deposit into my bank account. I've got Square on my phone, so you can pay by MasterCard or Visa, and I have PayPal.
Well, so what Mark uses? Which flavour do you want? Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Yep. So just that thing, of what program would you like? You just have to lead in with helping them make a decision. You're doing them a favor, you're helping them move forward. So we're going to cover follow up on the basics call next Thursday, which is because we know how important it is. So that was your flow. So tracking your business, do you want to do that?
Okay, you've put all these slides together, so I've got to read half of them. So obviously talking about tracking your business, treating your business as like a business, as we were saying earlier. When you're starting putting your methods into action, record what you do each day. So how many, whatever it is, whether it's flyers, walk and talks, whatever it may be, how long it took, because that's important. Because sometimes if you use the flyer, for example, if it took me 5 hours to put out 1,000 flyers, but I could have got the same result by talking to 100 people in 5 hours, would I be better off? You have to figure that part out yourself. How many calls did I make, or did I get from that interest that I put out? If I put 1,000 flyers out and I got one call, you then got to ask yourself the question, am I prepared to keep putting out 1,000 flyers for one call, or do I need to up my activity and go to start talking to people? That's something you got to do. How many clients have I got in my business? And this is a big one. How much profit have I made? How often we talk to people and say, how much money did you make? Don't know. You should know. You should know that if you're on 25%, roughly, you've got a price list, roughly what that was. You may not know down to the cent, but you should know that, shake's worth $76, and what the cost factor is on that to you, and then how much profit you make. So if you're only making whatever it is, how many shakes do I need to help sell? How many of them do I need to get into people's homes? Because it is we are making a business here. So it is important you know that. And whether it's retail profit, whether it's downline profit, you are running a business. And keeping good gauges, and I believe you have a gauge sheet coming up.
Yep.
You can create a strong income story and see what methods are working the best, because that's what it's about. It's working out what works for you. I'm always looking at what is working or what isn't working. And from a business point of view, like we used to call it in where I used to come from, what's my return on my investment? What am I investing in? Whether it's my time, and that's my biggest thing, or the income that I'm putting out, like we got asked before about the Google ads. If I'm investing money, what am I getting back from it? And if I'm not getting anything back from it, why am I spending the money on it? Shelley was putting Gumtree ads out for a while there. Again, we all looked at it at the time. If I'm spending money on Gumtree ads, for example, and I'm not getting a call, the ad's wrong, it's in the wrong location, why am I wasting the money? You have to look at all those things.
And sometimes something will work for a while, but
And then stop.
And it can be because it's got saturation or people are used to seeing it too much. So sometimes you just need to give it a break and then go back in. And social media is a bit like that too. So you just got to be very creative and conscious of what you're doing and consistent. So, okay.
Because the example on spending money, pretty well in the world we live in today would be a good example. Putting an ad in a newspaper is almost burning your money up. Because when you think about it, the ad that would go in the, say, the classifieds, how many people actually buy newspapers anymore? They get the information on their phone. So therefore, are they looking at those classifieds? So you have to look at it depending on where you live, depending on what you're putting it in, and where everything. So I just wanted to make sure we're clear on that.
Yeah, and I know we'll listen to that training with Gary Vee yesterday, I think, and he was talking about that LinkedIn's actually a really up and coming one to be thinking about advertising with. So because it's all about business. So you know, if you're not sure, Google LinkedIn, look at some YouTube videos on it, go and join it and have a look, and it might be your thing. You know, if Facebook's not your thing, I know a lot of people use Instagram, but I don't really get Instagram at all. I don't know why, I just don't. But you've just got to do what feels right for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Gauges.
So this is just a basic gauge sheet. Kara's come up with a bit more elaborate one for us, which is great for the group. Look, we know we've got get 20, keep 20, but we just wanted to start nice and simple. How about if you're just getting started, and I know this, you would love this one, Vicky, get 5, keep 5. That sounds achievable, right? If I said to you, get 20, keep 20, you go, oh, 20. But I said, get 5, keep 5. And we can show you how to attract 5 term product lovers that feel the same way as you and Trish do about the products. That's all you're doing is you're looking for people like you. So you put you up the top, and then you write what you're ordering, what volume you've done for the month. And then each time you do a little attachment, like a line that attaches, and you put the person's name and what they've ordered. And look, some clients order more than once a month. That does happen. And you can also write referrals and things like that, so it can start growing. And, you may have to print that off a couple of times a month, and then eventually you can build up to you get 20, keep 20. So you put the month there, what your volume goal was, what volume you actually achieved, how many new clients you actually got, did you get any referrals, and what sort of profit you made. And you know what, you can add whatever you want onto this as well. So whatever gauges you want to keep, you can add onto your gauge form. So because you need to make it something that appeals to you. So this is just a very simplified one that I thought would be great for people that are just getting started. So
yeah, because 2 different people, both of us, we track the business in totally different ways. So I've got different gauges that I look at and tracking behind us up on the wall that you can't see, compared to what Shelley looks at. I look at BizWorks in a lot different way than what Shelley looks at. We all look at our business in different ways. So you've got to look at it in the way that works for you. Absolutely works for you.
Yeah, whereas I'm a bit more of a list writer. So you've got all the months and the volume and the dates and where the events are. I've got here behind us, I've got lists. So I've got the event, and then I've got lists of people, who's going, who's got their ticket, who could we invite, and so I kind of work that way, so I can tick it off as I go. And then I also know who to get back to, okay, the event's coming up, it's tomorrow or 2 days away. Should they get a reminder? And it just keeps me clear on who I should be focusing on, so I don't drop the ball while I'm trying to promote that event. So,
yes, our kitchen lounge, or kitchen dining, if you want to call it, is almost an office in itself, isn't it?
It is the office.
Oh, yeah,
this is the office.
Right around us.
It's a good office. I like it. Cool. So this is for you.
Okay. So this was from the weekend, and I didn't talk about it earlier, but I found this really, really interesting to look at, and I probably talk about this a lot. So obviously the 3 pillars, you need to be fun, simple, magical. But you have to know the full menu, as we were talking earlier, like the Mark Hughes days. You have to know it all. Doesn't mean you have to do it all, but you have to know it all in case you have a member or client come along that says, oh, I could do that. So you have to know what it is. So then you choose a DMO that you love doing, whatever that is. And this was what I really liked what she put up there. All retail equals no duplication. You can't duplicate if all you do is retail. Nobody's learning anything. And if all you do is recruit, you have no foundation. Then people don't know how to retail.
You need to do both.
You have to be able to do both. You have to be able to retail. You have to be able to learn to recruit. And you may not be able to do that to start with, but that should be your objective in the end. How do I learn how to retail? If I get that right, now how do I recruit? It's important, because without the two, your business is just not going to go in. You master them, and then you consistently invite. And you got to make everything in this business about duplication. It's about making it as simple as we possibly can, that someone else can do it. I love the fact if I can't explain it to like we said, the child or the 6-year-old, I'm overcomplicated it. Everybody else should be able to pick it up. And that's how often we talk about things at times. Could be able to do this? Or, we've all got people from time to time that you look and go, hang on a minute, they couldn't be able to do this. So we've made it too complicated, and it shouldn't be that sort of, it's not that sort of a business. It's very simple. And it's not about the DMO that matters. It's about how much you do and how much you care about the people. It is a numbers business. It really is.
It's also people.
And it's also people.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're not ready to recruit,
Sure.
It's okay.
Yes.
But I guess because a lot of us have processes where we full retail in the first month, and then we offer our client the 25% option in their second month or whenever they're loving the product.
Yep.
Guess what? They've got the opportunity with a free SDS ticket to go, and you're inviting them to events anywhere where there's a Herbalife opportunity meeting. Just like Vicky, you would have had the same thing. You probably weren't thinking about doing the business, but you came along to some of the events, and it's just kind of flowed through naturally. And now here you are, you're a coach and part of our team and coming to STS. So, you just don't know what's going to happen, right? So just one of those things. So don't be afraid of recruiting, because sometimes it'll just happen naturally anyway. So cool. We're going to cover follow-up next Thursday at 8 p.m. Queensland time on our Business Basics call, because obviously once you get a client, we want to show you exactly how to follow up and maybe some of the things that come up. So for example, I had Jess call me today. And she said, I'm in the supermarket. She said, I've been drinking full cream milk and I've been having all sorts of problems. I'm all bound up. I said, oh, yep. I said, just, you know what, Jess, once you reach about 25 years of age, and I think that's her age, I said, you stop producing the enzyme that breaks down the lactose in the milk. So that's where you can have a lot of issues. I said, go into the long life milk section. She said, yep, that's where I'm standing. I said, great. You choose the almond milk and choose some lactose-free milk. I said, you can always do half water, half of the milk anyway, if you wish to. I said, and that's where I would start. So it was great that you called, so that I standing right in the supermarket and helping. And how cool is that for follow-up? So we're going to go through a few of those sort of things and show you exactly how to do follow-up. But you know what? You still get to do follow-up your way. And I know there was a training with Mark Hughes that we watched a couple of days ago, and he's like, who loves follow-up? And they do a sweep around the room. No one's got their hand up. He goes, I don't like it either, but you've really got to get good at follow-up, So
what is it? The money's in the follow-up?
Yes.
The income's in the follow-up?
Fortunes in the follow-up.
Fortunes in the follow-up?
And
yes.
I think maybe over times, because I've been in the business a while, there's times when I've really nailed the follow-up, and there's times when I've got a little bit laxy-daisy. But I really feel right at this point now where I've really upped the game on my follow-up on how I approach it, and that it's something that I really want to be good at. And
Yep.
I know the impact that I'm making in someone's life. So I'm thinking about the value I'm giving, and it's given me a totally new way of thinking about follow-up. So, and imagine if we all just did that and felt that way, that just by that one phone call, you could have just made someone's day because they were having a crappy day.
And really, follow-up is actually talking to somebody, because you need to know how they feel. If they're having a bad day, a text doesn't imply it.
Yeah.
You don't pick it up.
The emotion in their
It's the
voice.
emotion in
Yeah.
their voice tells you straight away, they've got a problem today. Okay, let's just keep having a conversation till you get through the conversation and find out what's causing that problem.
Yeah, and one of the things I often say, and I think you've probably all, many people that are in a team will say, you know, I'm here with you all the way. I've got your back. So I say, I know I use those words a lot, and you know, it's not something I just say. I mean it. I'm right there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here with you the whole way. So imagine if you talk to your clients like that or your members like that, what you could create. So that's the business basics. I think we've got a couple other things. Oh, this is a great point.
Okay.
You can do that.
Can I? Okay, cool. There is no success without action. So that's important. Action. If you do not go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. And if you do not step forward, you'll always be in the same place. That's very, very true. You have to step forward if you want to get anywhere.
I bet I really like that one.
Did I really like that one?
So we've got to get you into action, and we've got a really cool little challenge coming up for November, which is all about your business activity, and we'd love you to join in. It's going to be really cool. So we'd love everyone to join in because it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that one. So Saturday, the 2nd of November, we have our Let's Go Gympie with Luke Fortescue. He's an active world team member. He's lost 58 kilos on the products. He's totally pumped about coming. He's bringing some of his favourite recipes, and this guy can make lots of recipes. We can hear you, Trishy. We can hear you, darling. That's okay. We'll meet you. We love you. So, yeah, so he's going to come and share his story, and we have our 21-day challenge ending just before that. So we're going to do our results recognition party at that event as well. So it's going to be results galore, lots of recognition. Those really cool certificates are going to go out all over the place with some prizes, lots of recipes, plus a members training and Herbalife Opportunity meeting to kind of back that up. So yeah, we're really excited about this event. I think this one's going to be really special. So everyone's absolutely welcome. Or who do you know in Gympie that you could invite along? And one of the reasons why I invited Luke is because I knew he knows he's got friends in Gympie. So it's like, you should come and be our guest speaker, and then you could invite your friends. So I've done that a little bit, and it's been quite effective.
Shelley, how far from Gympie, like distance-wise, is from Brisbane to Gympie?
2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I'll see what I can do.
Depends on whether you've got Irene and if trying to chase you in the car or not, how fast you keep going.
Oh, this sounds interesting. I hope you mind your language, you three.
car.
So yes, everyone's welcome. It's free for guests and members, so you're getting a lot of value, and we have such a great group and lots of results. So yeah, we're really excited about this. I think everyone's pumped for this one, right? There we go. Keep inviting into this. Let's have people, falling out of the doors and because we can't put any more people in. See how we go. That's the goal. Okay. So, did you want to cover this?
Yeah. So, obviously, we got this Success Summit, or whatever you want to call it, a 2-day event around Australia in November on Saturday the 16th of November. It's training on the Saturday is open to all members. And the party then is open to all members on the Saturday. And then the Sunday, this is why you need to be a supervisor before the end of October. You need to be a supervisor before the end of October, because then it opens it up on the Sunday to allow you to go to the 2nd day training.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's South Australia, Joanna Gannay. Yeah, I just lost his name for a second there. So you got Victoria, got Wayne Levy. New South Wales, we've got Mark Paulson, and in Queensland, we got Jess Morgan. So, yes, so definitely you need to know, who do you know in some of those states? Who do you know? You may not live in South Australia. You may not live in Victoria, but you may have a friend, family member that lives in that area that could possibly go to the HOM that'll be open on that day. And you need to go onto their site and find out their information.
Yeah. So you definitely want to, who do you know, and think beyond your area as well.
Absolutely.
So this is the for Queensland is Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. So it's, registration starts at 9:15 on the Saturday morning. You haven't. Oh, we'll show it on the next one exactly where you are. So that'll be fine. So all member training on the Saturday is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The yacht or the Sun Goddess that evening is 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. It is limited to 130 people, so if you haven't got your ticket, get your tickets. All right. Sunday, supervisor training is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All right. And the tickets are available for Queensland.
Sorry, I put 3 p.m.
It's okay. And the tickets are available on the Brisbane SDS.com. Is where you need to go to get your ticket, and that's where the agenda and everything was as well.
Cool. So I think the venue's here.
Yep. So there we are with the Sheridan Grand Mirage Resort, 71 SeaWorld Drive, Main Beach. So yeah, so you need to get your ticket so you can get on the boat and then go from there.
Yeah, and look, if you're having to travel for the day, and because it doesn't start till 10 on Saturday, you could drive there,
Absolutely.
train, do the Sun Goddess in the evening, and then drive back home. I've done that before, yes,
Yep.
many times.
Yep.
But just see.
Well, when you think about it, we went to a training on Saturday into Brisbane from this area, and really it's only another hour maximum from there down. And the training on Saturday for supervisors started at 9. You could actually make it there till 10 o'clock, and left at the same time we left here if that's what you needed to do. Absolutely.
And Shelley, possibly that Sun Goddess might come right by my place if you come up the Coomera River. All the party boats come by my house all the time.
That's exciting.
So we're stopping at Jennifer's place on the way past and pulling up.
We're looking at the Herbalife symbol in the swimming pool. Is that right? Cool. So well, that's exciting. So I think it's going to be a great lifestyle experience, a really great training. Jess has got a fantastic story, and they've built an amazing business, her and Gav, around their 2 kids. They've just been on a 7-month holiday around Europe, and they took the kids with them with this amazing lifestyle they've been able to create, and they're going to teach you how to do the same thing, and to achieve whatever it is for you, what you want to do. So I don't think I put this spectacular in, did I?
No, you didn't.
No. Okay, so just finishing with the spectacular, because each event goes into each event, of course. It's helping you build and grow. So the Adelaide Spectacular is on January the 17th, 19th, I got it right, in obviously Adelaide at the Entertainment Centre. We've got Trey and Memi Heron, who are 2nd generation Herbalife members that have just done a Chairman's Club, which they've got 6 diamonds, 60K President's Team or Chairman's Club members, and they've got a lot to share. And I think, they often select a speaker that's really relevant to what we need at the time. Lots of recognition at parties and merchandise. It's going to be an amazing weekend for Australia and New Zealand. And there's heaps of promotions as well. So we'll make sure we cover that in detail next week, because I think there's a lot to go for. But I would just suggest getting your ticket. If you don't have money for the ticket, we can help you retail your way there. Get some clients, get some money in your pocket so you can pay for your ticket, get your airfares, book some accommodation, try and book so that you don't have to pay until you are there. If that's what you need to do, go in with some people. There's always people looking to go in together, and make it a really amazing experience as well. And guess what? You're always talking to people. You're sitting to people on the plane, your taxi drivers or Uber drivers. There's heaps of people you can talk to about Herbalife while you're going there and coming back. You might even end up with some members and clients just from that trip. So, you can make the absolute most of it. So did you have anything to add for that, Jennifer?
No, you've done a good job there. It's excellent. What I was going to say about the spectacular, if everybody starts looking now, so often you come up with those cheap, $89 fares and stuff. If you're determined to go, look for the fares now, make the effort of getting them now, and then the rest just falls into place.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that
if you're not sure where you're going to live or what room, you'll work it out along the way. If you get the fare done first, the rest just starts following up if you work on it now.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you, everyone. So that's everything. I didn't finish with a quote, only because we did 2 awesome quotes on the training. So I hope you got a lot out of it. Let me just stop sharing so we can see our awesome mastermind group. It's like magic. So thank you, everyone, for being on the call tonight. We really appreciate it. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. The recording's going to go out, so if you've got any members that haven't been able to listen to this, just tag them and let them know about it, or sit down and watch it with them. That's what I'd suggest, and that way they can ask questions and you can talk about it and plan and help them as well. So I find there's a lot of value in that. Or if you can't be with them, get them to watch it and follow up afterwards. I think they're all really important. I'm trying to figure out why Trishy's on twice. I'm like, what the?
Special.
I know.
She's muted, so.
And now she's muted and she's talking.
I'm muted, sorry.
So this one gives the laptop to work, and do it. So we went on the phone, and then the other one came on. So we just left them both on.
Well, that's good. You got 2. I got it. I got the deal. So, Thank you, everyone. Really, really appreciate your time and your energy and sharing as well. So that's all lock arms and finish off the month strong, because we're at what date are we? 21st. So we've got what, 9 days until the end of the month. 10 days. I can't count. 10 days until the end of the month. A lot can happen in 10 days, and there's absolutely, you got nothing to lose by going for it. Your business is going to grow, and you're going to grow anyway. So if you need a plan for your last 10 days, definitely get in touch with your mentor, one of us, and we'll help you do that. Okay, we want to help you reach your goals. It's in our best interest for you to succeed. So
Cool.
we want that for you. So have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. So we'll see you on the next call, or see you at Fit Club.
Hang on, just one.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, is Trishy there?
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now, yeah, what's up? Yes,
Yeah,
Trish.
we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so at work today, I was mentioning about going on the yacht and, just talking about in general. And one of the guys, his partner's just recently had a baby. And I said to him, she should think, if she doesn't want to go back to work, that she should, think of some other thing she wants to do, Herbalife or something like that, instead of going back to work part-time, because she was only a part-time, as a substitute of thinking outside the square. Said, oh, she's not into Herbalife. And I said, well, is she into going back to work, full-time, trying to work around kids? So just putting it back onto him that there is alternatives out there.
Absolutely. You've got to plant the seed, because, you just might, they might just come back. So if you do that enough times, you don't know what's going to happen. So well done. It's very brave, and I'm proud of you for doing that. So thank you for sharing, Trishy. No,
Okay.
have a great night. I'll see you all at Fit Club.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
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 Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.